welcome. My name is Brady Pelzer. I'm an annuity sales director here at IAMS, and today we're going to be exploring the opportunity available to each and every one of you to become a social security navigator, be able to provide value to the clients that you're meeting from a retirement lens, be able to provide that valuable input when it comes to their social security and when is the best time to activate it. And this may surprise you, it may not, depending on your experience in the field, the encounters that you've had with clients, but very few individuals understand the benefits available through the Social Security program in the United States. Even fewer of those individuals seek or are presently garnering financial help, professional help when it comes to this segment of their retirement. Again, it is a component to what we do that is often overlooked. This is a great opportunity to set yourself apart, become an expert in Social Security. Prior to diving into our program, specifically Social Security Navigator, we'll go ahead and dive into a quick 5-question survey. Only 1 in 300 seniors were able to pass this survey with a perfect score. Dive right into it. Question 1, to maximize your monthly Social Security checks, at what age must you claim benefits? The answer most people believe it to be is full retirement age 66, 67, when individuals start receiving statements from the Social Security Administration. This is the age that's highlighted on those statements. As you may have seen before, they give you a figure that if Social Security were activated today, this is how much you would make. In the top right-hand corner, they would have full retirement age as a comparison. But the fact that they leave out on those statements is that the age of 70 is the age in which you can maximize your Social Security benefits. Only 42% of Americans are aware of this fact. Between the full retirement age and age 70, whether that be 66 or 67 at full retirement age to age 70, an individual can earn 2 to 3% per month, which would aggregate into a rough average of 8% annual increases on those Social Security distributions, especially for those individuals that are well taken care of with additional assets. If they're able to buy some time spending down some of those assets to supplement their retirement prior to activating Social Security at the age of 70, this very well could be a valuable tidbit to share with them. Could very well be the difference between the proverbial winning or losing a deal. Question 2, what's the earliest age you can receive survivor benefits if you're not disabled? Answer is age 60. Only 9% of individuals were aware that they could claim as early as 60, assuming they weren't disabled or raising the deceased child, in which case they can be started even earlier. Most individuals believe that age 62 would be the earliest that you could tap into these survivor benefits. Move on to question 3, and that question is, does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? Yes or no question. 50-50 coin flip says yes. Just 20% of senior Americans were aware that you were unable to claim your spouse's, hers or his, benefits unless they were already claiming those same benefits. Not knowing this fact, as I'm sure you're aware, looking at some of these Social Security statements, what people are receiving, what they could receive later down the line, or what their spouse is receiving in comparison to what they personally are receiving, I'm sure you're well aware of how impactful this could be when we're referencing an individual's lifetime income. It's equally important to know the exception to this rule as well. If you're divorced after 10 years of marriage, you can claim spousal benefits and don't have to wait until your ex claims them first. If you've been divorced for at least 2 years, you haven't been remarried, and your ex-spouse has reached the age of 62, you can start your spousal benefits whenever you like. So that is one of the exceptions out of many that we're going to be going through throughout this presentation. Again, if you were married for over 10 years, have been divorced, legally divorced for over 2 years, haven't remarried, and your ex-spouse has reached the age of 62, you are able to receive their benefits, the spousal benefits, prior to them claiming those same benefits. And now we'll move on to question 4. Can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Kind of alluded to it in the last slide. However, give you some time to think about the answer here. And the answer, kind of gave it to you on that one, is yes. There are 4 stipulations. Ran over them briefly on the previous slide. We'll go through them again here. Prior to, only 67% of seniors were able to answer that question correctly. So again, on any of these questions, if you don't get them right, you're playing par for the course. The 4 stipulations: to receive divorce spousal benefits, married at least 10 years, unmarried at the time of filing, ex-spouse is at least 62 years old, and you have been divorced for a period of longer than 2 years. Again, that's legally divorced for a period longer than 2 years. Those 4 stipulations. This is one that I've personally used on a number of times. This is certainly a slide I would jot down for future reference, be able to build that value with your clients. And another tidbit, what you can't do is collect both benefits. It is a one or other situation. If your divorced spouse's benefits are greater than your own, then certainly works out to be a no-brainer, but unfortunately, we would be unable to claim on each. Move on to question 5, and that question is, are you eligible for survivor benefits if you're divorced? Give you a moment to think about it. Yes or no? Coin flip 50-50 says yes, if the preceding 4 stipulations are met. Only 38% of individuals interviewed had the answer to that question. Again, if we don't have the answers today, that's no worries at all. That's what we're here for. That's what Social Security Navigator is here for. If you have any questions, give us a call anytime. Moving on to the next slide, how important is Social Security? Well, you see the chart here. 59% of retirees count on Social Security to be the primary source of their income in retirement. That is a staggering figure. 59% of Americans are relying on Social Security to be the predominant feature, the predominant component to their income, to their retirement income. Right here, how much does Social Security at the wrong time cost you? So that begs the question, how much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost the average American? Retirees will lose an average of $110,000 in income per household over their lifetime because they took Social Security benefits at the incorrect time. Again, that is a staggering figure when we think about $111,000, especially with our life chassis of the world, our death benefit enhancements on some of these annuity options in the world. That may not just be $111,000 of face value. Those considerations, the product considerations, as well as the consideration time value of money, we're looking at an even steeper hole at the end of it. Overall, only 4% of retirees took Social Security at the financially optimal time. Let that one sink in, ladies and gentlemen. 4% of individuals, that means 96% of retirees took Social Security at the wrong time, left money on the table. That's a 96% population that you can tap into by building your knowledge base, becoming a Social Security expert, being able to help navigate individuals when it comes to, again, retirement planning. Social Security, certainly a core element of such. Now, if we take a stroll down memory lane, the Social Security Administration, what is the series of events? What's the timeline? On August 14th, 1934, the Social Security Act was signed into legislation by FDR. By 1940, the first benefit check was issued to Ida Mae Fuller for $22.54. Neat little tidbit there. At that time, in 1940, you had to start taking benefits at the age of 65. We did not have the flexible options that we have today, where we can start taking as early as 62, as early as age 60 with specified circumstances, as well as not having to trigger Social Security at the age of 62. We as Americans did not always have that flexibility, those options available to us. In 1961, the early retirement age was lowered to 62, thus at a reduced benefit if we were activating it at 65 previously. In 1975, automatic annual COLAs were included to the Social Security distributions. In 1983, the first taxation up to 50% was passed into legislation spearheaded by Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill. 1993 taxation was up to 85% of the Social Security benefit being exposed to, or potentially exposed to, taxation. That was passed into legislation by Bill Clinton's administration. And then the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015 phased out file and suspend and restricted applications. Moving onward, Social Security 101, the three important ages. We've briefly touched on it up to this point. Jot this down: age 62 would be the entry level. That is when an individual is eligible to start drawing their Social Security benefit. Then we have full retirement age. This is, again, generally the one that is quoted on those Social Security statements from the administration. And then age 70, that is the max age in terms of maximizing your benefit. If you have any clients that are approaching the age of 70 or already 70, not drawing on Social Security should certainly be one of the core components to your conversations with those individuals. Again, Social Security can be of huge value, maximizing your benefit as well as increasing your benefit. We're talking about it from a retirement planning standpoint, also on the life insurance side. Find the premium, the proverbial saying, a great example of just such. Now diving into the Social Security Trust Fund, understanding that there's a lot of rumors, murmurs out there regarding Social Security, how it may not be around when millennials or Gen Z reach retirement age. However, the Social Security Trust Fund, the balance on December 31st, 2020 was $2.811 trillion. That same balance a year later, December 31st, 2021, $2.852 trillion. And so those numbers, if you look at the Social Security Trust Fund, what that present day value is, those rumors, those murmurs are not as substantiated as you may have believed previously. All intents and purposes on the balance sheet, it is a sufficiently funded program and will continue onward for at least the near future, and certainly hopefully down the line from there. The Social Security solvency, piggybacking off the previous slide, how to shore up Social Security, increase the full retirement age. That's something that they've done previously, whereas age 65 was that lock dead date. They did an A and B approach. A, we're going to open flexibility, allow individuals to tap into Social Security starting at 62 rather than 65, expand those maximum benefit ages to 70, and those same solutions are still out for debate. Increase the full retirement age with life expectancy only increasing throughout the course of human history. Increase the maximum age is also up for consideration. Raise the maximum earnings cap that is subject to Social Security tax. That was $147,000 in 2022. Make it a little bit more flexible in that regard. Is a potential benefit down the road. Taxing all benefits. Currently at 15% of all Social Security benefits are not taxed. After the Clinton administration, no matter what your income is, there are conversations about 100% of Social Security being taxable income. Increased payroll taxes is another consideration, currently paying 6.2%, and the employer pays 6.2%. That would be 12.4 in total. That would certainly be up for debate future down the line. Reduce, eliminate COLAs means testing as well. And these tidbits are important to the fact that when you are sitting across the table from an individual who's really wanting to understand and plan out their retirement income, Social Security is going to be a component of that. These are tidbits that you can mention for them to look forward to later down the road, or potentially look forward to later down the road. Continuing onward, some Social Security facts you may not be aware of. Social Security operates as a pay-as-you-go system funded by payroll taxes. Alluded to that on the previous slide. The general W-2 employee would split the ticket with the employer themselves. 1099, we're covering all components, both components of such. The U.S. does borrow and issue IOUs, and Social Security is not a Ponzi scheme. Now, how do you calculate your Social Security benefit? Starting point is 40 quarters of coverage. That is the bare minimum for an individual to be eligible for Social Security benefits down the line. That 4 quarters in a year, that would effectively be 10 years of employment and paying towards Social Security to be eligible down the line. Earnings over your working career is the component of the calculation. At what age will you begin your benefit? Highest 35 years of inflation adjusted earnings are averaged. So they're going to take your 35 best years, average amount. Benefit is increased each year. If there is a cost of living adjustment, inflation goes up, so too will our Social Security distributions. Breakdown of full retirement age is here, as it has expanded from 1943 to what it is presently set at the age of 67. You can see the timeline of events. Took our administration, took our politicians roughly 17 years to 1960 to establish 67 as their full retirement age. And the previous couple slides down the line, or the preceding few slides, alluded to the fact that this very well may increase down the line. It's been since 1960, over 60 years since we've made an adjustment to the full retirement age. Could very well be a tweak, an increase to that full retirement age down the line. Nothing as of yet, but certainly something to be aware of to be able to provide value to your clients, prospective clients. Applying for benefits prior to reaching full retirement age. If you take early, your benefit will be reduced. Here's a good table to be able to provide your clients to illustrate this point. If you're applying for Social Security at the age of 62 and your full retirement age is 66, that would be you would receive 75% of what you would have if you had taken your Social Security distribution claim for Social Security at full retirement age of 66. That's even further diminished. If your full retirement age is 67, you would receive 70% of your benefit. And you see it working down the line here. If your full retirement age is 66, obviously activating it, claiming it at 66, you're going to get the full retirement benefit, the full retirement age benefit. Now, applying for benefits after full retirement age, an equally important slide, an equally important metric table to show clients. Obviously, again, if full retirement age is 66, you get 100% benefit. If your full retirement age is 66, but you're claiming at 67, you would get that 8% annual uptick to receive 108% of what you would have previously received. And again, that 8% annual uptick illustrated here on the table, that increases the 116 at 68, 124 at 69, and the maximum benefit an individual can receive if their full retirement age is 66 would be 132% benefit if they wait until the age of 70 to claim. Now, circling back on the spousal benefits available to Americans through the Social Security Administration, we've got a great case sample for you here. Dave, the husband, is receiving $2,400 a month in Social Security benefits. Amy is receiving $1,000 a month in Social Security benefits. If Amy applies at full retirement age, her benefit will be $1,200, half of what Dave's benefit is. So if an individual has a spouse that has made who has been the breadwinner of the household, is making more than the other, it might very well be wise to wait until full retirement age prior to activating, as they would receive half of their spouse's benefit at full retirement age in lieu of the $1,000 they would receive initially. Now, piggybacking back on the topic of survivor benefits, we again have Dave and Amy. Dave is receiving $2,000 a month in benefits. Amy is receiving $1,200 a month in benefits. Dave dies. Amy notifies the Social Security of her $1,200 benefit being replaced by Dave's $2,000 benefit. She claims for her deceased spouse's benefits. Again, this is not automatic. The Social Security Administration will not connect A and B in this regard. The individual, in this case Amy, is needing to notify the Social Security Administration file to receive the enhanced benefit. Some things to look out for on the survivor benefits: it is not available if a widower remarries before the age of 60. So there is a window there after the age of 60, but not prior to. And taking survivor benefits at age 60 or later, if you haven't elected, it grows, you're able to turn it on later, and vice versa. Piggybacking on a further topic we covered earlier, divorce spouse benefits. Again, the 4 stipulations: have to be married for 10 years or more prior to divorcing. The spouse needs to be receiving divorce spouse benefit and still remain unmarried. The ex-spouse is at least the age of 62, and the divorce occurred more than 2 years prior. Don't forget, the survivor benefits we showed on the previous slide, as well as these married spouse widow benefits, are almost identical. Now, coordinating spousal benefits. In 2015, the Bipartisan Budget Act was passed. This changed the Social Security coordinating spousal benefit for married and divorced spouses based on that year of birth. File and suspend is no longer available. Again, alluded to it earlier. Restricted application is still available if the individual was born before January 2nd, 1954. Those individuals are grandfathered into the previous provisions, and you can restrict your application at any time after full retirement age. Divorce spouse benefits have the same rules as restricted applications. Connecting those dots. Now, restricted applications, again, same sample as before. Amy is over the age of 66 has qualified for full retirement age, and Dave is born before January 2nd, 1954. Dave receives $2,400 a month in Social Security. Amy receives $1,000 a month in Social Security. Amy files for her benefit at full retirement age. Dave files for his spousal benefit at the same time and begins collecting $500, half of Amy's, delays his benefit, which would be $6,000 a year in free money. This is what it would equate to in terms of those 8% annual bump ups. When Dave turns 70, he is now receiving $3,498 a month in Social Security benefit. Amy adds $200 to her spousal benefit because it is half of Dave's. This one, I would take a screenshot. I would say this really is one of those lesser known loopholes that can make a significant impact on your client or prospective client's Social Security outlook. What Social Security personnel can and can't do. They can estimate individual benefits, as well as tell you the largest amount you are entitled to today, right now. What they can't do for you is project future benefits through scenario planning. So again, those statements that individuals receive, it'll state what they receive today. It'll share with them what they would receive at full retirement age, but it does not dive deeper to that. They are unable to project what you would receive at the maximum age of 70. And again, this is a great opportunity for us to educate those that we have the opportunity of connecting with, helping them navigate and design innovative strategies to maximize their benefits. As the Social Security Administration is unable to do, the last thing they're unable to do is they cannot give advice. If an individual calls into the Social Security Administration, they can only share with them these specified points. They are unable to advise how exactly the average client should navigate, if they should wait, if they should activate claim now. They are unable to offer that advice. Now, diving deeper into what an employee of the Social Security Administration, the procedures and help they are able to provide. They can help complete forms and develop proofs. They can provide any needed assistance to complete the application and related forms. They can help navigate through specific questions, how to answer them, how not to answer them, as well as they do not ask leading questions. An example of such, wording it in such a way that produces a desired result. This goes on the whole tidbit of not providing advice to individuals calling into the SSA. They aim at completing all documentation at first contact via complete interview. So one and done, no follow-up process thereafter, but afterward by that specified individual. And they can also explain the importance of returning forms promptly whenever documentation is not completed at first contact. Consider all your income streams before claiming Social Security. Again, I had alluded to it previously in this presentation. However, if there are additional assets that are liquid and we can use to insulate our retirement distribution flow prior to activating Social Security, by all means, explore those options, explore those alternative strategies. Social Security is not a standalone income stream. It can be the most flexible of all income streams given those step ups, as well as claiming at the right time can be paramount. Again, those step ups, if we have additional assets on the table, utilizing those in the distribution chart prior to activating Social Security could have an $1,100,000 impact on average for an American household. Furthermore, don't forget about survivor benefits or those other benefits that we had alluded to previously. If you've run into a client or prospective client, very well could be the difference between a win or a loss on that specified case, providing that value on the Social Security income side. Sure, everyone or the majority of individuals tuning into this call are well familiar with the 5 pillars of income, Social Security certainly being one of them. Working wages, full or part-time, through the course of an individual's working life. Thereafterward, we have our pensions. We have our income producing assets, investments, savings, IRAs, 401ks, annuities, etc. We have our RMDs at the age of 70. This would be a build off of point 3 there, income producing assets, qualified assets. We have RMDs to look forward to at the age of 72, soon to be age 73. And we also have, again, Social Security, 5th pillar of income. Now, the great question, when to claim your Social Security. Your own benefit, spousal benefits, coordinating spousal benefits, survivor benefits, divorce benefits, your personal benefit, health history, other income sources. All of these underlying factors are important in the decision-making process. How long do I anticipate living? Are there additional benefits available to me within the Social Security program? There's a lot to consider in making this decision. Become a Social Security navigator. If you're interested in doing so, feel free to give anybody on our sales floor here at IMES, whether it be on the life or annuity side, a call. If we don't have the direct answer for you initially, immediately, we'll get you pointed in the right direction, in contact with those that you need to be in contact with. Again, cannot harp on how potentially impactful becoming a Social Security expert can be on your bottom line by the end of the year. Great opportunity to build value with clients, prospective clients. And again, not just saying it to say it, I've seen it play out tangibly. Could very well be the difference between making a sale and not making a sale. Getting the annuity, not getting the annuity, getting the IUL, not getting the IUL. These value building propositions truly do have a deeper underlying meaning on the human psyche. Again, thank you everyone for joining us today. If you have any questions, give us a call here at the office, 800-255-5055. We've got helping hands to point you in the right direction to become a Social Security expert today. Talk to you soon.